let's face it, I am known, more so than anyone else in the world of YouTube, I am known as the American who is the most curious about people in Spain, people from Spain, people of Spanish culture, people who are Spanish. Because I am an American who has traveled the world, New Zealand, South Korea, Thailand, Trinidad, Tobago, Ecuador, and of course Canada. But I've never knowingly met a person from Spain. So I've always got these questions so I can understand more about Spain. It's such a mystery to me. And yes, it is now officially on my list of places that I want to see in the world. I would love one day to go to Spain. I think it would be awesome. And perhaps too, it definitely helps that on Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown that he recently had an episode on it and I watched on Netflix, and it has reinforced my curiosity. So here's my question. Before I get the question, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that for 5.5 years I've been a very strict vegan. But then a couple months ago, I started changing just a little bit in that I consider myself a kosher pescatarian. I've begun eating eggs. I'll even eat some cheese. I won't drink milk because I still think that's really what was messing up my sinuses. And I will eat certain types of fish. For example, like salmon, cod, and of course, as you can see from the title of the video, anchovies. I can't eat tuna. It breaks out my skin. It brings back my dyshidrosis. It has to do with the mercury, and I understand that now. And I'm sure I could probably not ever go back to eating shellfish either because of the level of nickel. Any kind of metals, my body has a very negative reaction to. A little bit of irony, my mother's maiden name, Metello. My actual last name, Shell, as in shellfish. So imagine that in my names, I've got these things that I cannot have access to. Let's talk about it though. Let's talk about anchovies. Let's talk about anchovies. So here's the deal. How old am I? 37. I think it was around 8th grade, so around age 14, 1995, was about the time where I got curious about anchovies as a kid. Now here's the thing. In American culture, anchovies are a punchline. Yes, in American culture, anchovies are a punchline. Growing up, I watched the Ninja Turtles, and they'd say, "Ew, who ordered the pizza with anchovies and ice cream? Ooh, Michelangelo," right? And I'd see this in other sitcoms. "Ew, these things are disgusting. They smell bad. They're disgusting. They're gross." Ugh. So because of that, I was curious enough to try it. So as a teenager, we were ordering pizza at our family, and I told my mom, I was like, I wouldn't mind trying anchovies. And so we ordered a pizza with anchovies. And then that started a tradition that when we ordered pizza, you know, we'd order a couple. Typically, we'd order a smaller pizza, anchovy. And only my mom and I would eat it. No one else wanted anything to do with it, and everyone else just, it's gross. So, thing is, I always liked them. I never thought they were gross. I specifically liked the taste and everything about anchovies. So it's only natural that just a few months into me, out of 5 years of being a strict vegan, that I'm like, well, especially if I can't have tuna, and I got to be very careful about salmon, because salmon here in America, at least, so much of it is farm raised, meaning they don't feed it the natural things it would eat, so it makes the meat gray instead of its natural pink color. And I don't like the thought of them putting fake like red dye in something I'm eating. So since I can't have tuna, which I love tuna, can't have it because of my skin thing. Salmon, I got to be so careful that it's wild caught. Like, look at this, $1.19 from Kroger, anchovies, and they even put capers in them, which kind of like little olives. Oh, I like it. I like it. So now I'm getting the habit where I'll come home from work and, hey, a little pre-dinner anchovies. Let me have some of these. And of course, my family, my wife and my kids, they think it's gross and disgusting, which, you know, that's fair enough. But I wonder, in Spain, are anchovies perceived as so disgusting? In American culture, it's just, like I said, it's a punchline. No one in their right mind eats anchovies. It's so gross. I have a feeling, though, from what I know about Spanish cuisine and Spanish culture, I have a feeling that in Spain it's not frowned upon. I have a feeling that in Spain, a man or a woman could proudly eat anchovies and not be looked down upon, frowned upon in society. I don't know this, though. That's just what I speculate. One more reason why I might really like Spanish people and culture that much more, because I know in my mind, in this year, I've been able to differentiate Mexican food from Spanish food. And thanks to watching Parts Unknown on Netflix, I'm able to understand that a lot about what Spanish people eat is seafood. You're right there in it. You have access to it. And which would be another reason I'd like to go to Spain, because now I can eat fish, at least certain kinds of it. Teach me about the people of Spain and their perception of the anchovy. Comments? Leave them right here.